fabric cost of a garment. Garment costing. What are the factors should be considered on garment costing? Fabric cost, trim cost, cut and make cost, and special operation cost. We can discuss later the trim cost and cut and make cost and special operation cost. We now look at how to figure out the cost of fabric. Since most clothing doesn't have anything special in it and special operations are performed in a different plant, we can calculate the trim and cut and make costs. When only special applications like embroidery, printing, washing, beading, rosette attaching, etc. are involved, we use the supplier's price as our special operation cost. So, we are not considering all these now, only fabric cost. I'm going to tell you how to calculate the fabric cost of a garment now. If you want to get the fabric cost, if you want to calculate the fabric cost, what are the factors that we should know to calculate the fabric cost? First, we should know the fabric consumption, the required fabric quantity per garment. That is the consumption we call YY, yield yard. That's the correct term. Most of managers, directors use this term when they are negotiating, in initial price and order negotiating stage. You should know the consumption and additional quantity, additional requirement for defects and damages of cuttings, and when you are doing printing, embroidery, and in almost every activity of garment manufacturing process. You have experienced that there damages can be occurred in the sewing division and cutting division and all the other divisions. So, we should keep some additional quantity, additional percentage as wastage allowance, which is based on consumption. And then the price, fabric price. Price also we should know from the mill. You have to get it from the fabric supplier. Insurance and freight also we have to get from the relevant company or the service provider. We have to pay freight charges for the freight company, and for the insurance have to pay for the insurance company. Since bank should involve to make it reality the business, finance charges also we have to consider as fabric cost. So, we have to consider all these as fabric cost. How do we calculate this cost? Fabric price, insurance, freight, and finance charges, consumption and wastage allowance. Top 3, these 3, price actually we can get it from the supplier directly. Insurance and freight also from the company, shipping company, and insurance company, and financial charges from the bank. We don't need calculate those, but when calculate consumption and wastage, we have to do that. Now factory we have to calculate. So how do we calculate? Consumption. First, consumption we have to get. We have to draw a marker, and we explain later lessons about this marker. It's a drawing and now marker we have to decide the number of pieces in that marker. This is an example of marker, drawing, right? You can see there are back panels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 back panels mean there are 5 pieces, all other necessary panels, necessary parts. But 5 pieces are there, right? This is the marker length. From this point to starting point to end point is called marker length. This length we have to divide by these number of pieces. That's how you are getting consumption, the per piece required fabric. So, this is from the fabric consumption we have to multiply by wastage percent, 3%, 2% or 4%, likewise it's decided by the factory. So, you get wastage and consumption wastage and fabric cost. Can we calculate using formula? I have designed a formula for the easy calculation for you all, and fabric here we assume the fabric consumption of yield yard as right, fabric price is P. Insurance as I, freight F. Finance charge decides by bank. Wastage allowance can decide by factory. What's the percentage is? And this is the formula fabric cost, Y equal consumption into 1 plus wastage allowance, into price, insurance, and freight within brackets into within bracket 1 plus finance charges percentage. This bracket's so very important, you have to these brackets include correctly. Otherwise, the answer will be wrong. And this is one question, example question. Here it's marker length. We have to calculate the fabric cost based on these details. Fabric length is 11.5 meters. Marker ratio is small, medium, large, small into medium into large, 1 into 2 into 1. There's been 4 pieces are there in that marker. Wastage allowance is 3%. Fabric is being ordered from Hong Kong and the CIF value $3. Fabric price 2.8 plus it should reserve $8.2 per meter. So, finance charges is 6% from the CIF value. Now how do we calculate? Now this is the question I keep. Consumption. This is length marker length divided by number of pieces is 4 is 2.875 meters per piece required fabric. This is fabric requirement per piece 2.875 and based on that we can calculate the additional quantity, additional allowances, fabric wastage allowance. It's 2.875 into 3%. It is its 0.08625 meters. Both these quantities we need per garment. Fabric quantity we need per garment. Now it is 2.96125 meters. We need per one garment. Now based on this we can calculate all these costs, mill cost, fabric supplier's cost and insurance and freight cost. All these we can based on this. Now fabric mill we have to pay, we can say it's C, it's also cost. Right now it is C. Now 2.96125 into 2.8 in 1 meter price per meal. So it is 8.2915 for the fabric mill that is C, and insurance and freight 0.2 per meter that is the required fabric. Fabric requirement into wastage. So 2.961252 into 0.2. It's $0.59225. Insurance and freight. Now you know cost that in fabric mill cost. It's 8.2915 insurance and freight 0.59225, right? Altogether it's called CIF. It's a term, famous term. You know it's CIF. It's $8.88375 per piece or garment our fabric cost until this point. But there is more. Bank will charge finance charges based on this CIF is 6%. 6% now. So what is 6%? 8.88375 into 6% is 0.533025. This also we have to pay as fabric cost. Now this plus this is our fabric cost 8.88375 plus this finance charges 0.533025 that mean $9.416775 per garment fabric cost. Now this is the method. This is the actually step-by-step method. It is step-by-step method, manual method. We can say manual method and we can apply for the formula also. We will see that. Now if we apply for the formula, this is the question now. This is the formula fabric consumption, that is, yield yard into 1 plus wastage allowance into in brackets. Make sure that you put in the right place these in brackets price plus insurance plus rate into 1 plus finance charges percentage. So, 11.5 again, number of pieces 4. 1 plus wastage percentage, 3% wastage percentage, 1 plus 3% in 0.03 into price insurance and freight into 1 plus finance charge percentage. 1 plus finance charges is 6%. That means 1.06. Answer is 9.416775, right? The answer is same like previous step by step 1.